Did you realize that chronic stress can destroy your ability to actually enjoy pleasure or experience pleasure? That's nuts, right? It can. So how does that happen? Well, I'll explain that in just a second. So before we get into that, my name is Belinda, and helping women recover from sleeping issues, energy issues, hormonal imbalances, thyroid issues and autoimmune problems is something that I have found a great passion in because it has helped me, and I discovered things in my journey that helped myself completely recover from autoimmune and thyroid issues. And that is what I do today, is help other women get their lives back. And one thing that we see regularly is stress. We all know stress is not much fun. Okay, we all know that it can cause so many of our health problems and play a huge part in our lives. And we all know that we need to find ways to deal with it. But did you know that stress can actually destroy your ability to experience pleasure? Like, what are we living for if we can't experience the fun things in life, right? So what actually happens when we experience stress? When we have high stress, our cortisol goes up and we actually have a short spike in dopamine. Now, dopamine is our pleasure hormone, okay? But when we are experiencing chronic, continuous stress day in, day out, we don't create that hormone as easily. We kind of become resistant to it, kind of like sugar or alcohol or medications, okay? So take sugar, for example. When we enjoy sugar or chocolate or soft drinks or whatever, we get a short spike of dopamine, pleasure hormone. But what happens when we are continually exposed to sugar? Okay, we need more and more sweet things to get that hit, right? Okay, it's the same with alcohol. And some medications can work that way as well. So, you know, some medications might be working to begin with, but as our body gets used to it and continues to respond, our need for that medication might go up, or it's not being as useful. It's not helping as much because we sort of become resistant to it, okay? And that is kind of what happens with chronic stress, okay? We can't experience pleasure as much because we can't create that dopamine, that pleasure hormone, okay? It means less pleasure. It means feeling less motivated, okay? So we're not as motivated as we used to be. We're more restless, okay? And we have less sleep, okay? And this is all tied into the same ball of stress, okay? So what can we actually do about it? Well, the first thing we need to do is, and you may notice this yourself, when you're very highly stressed or your body is sick and is stressed because you are sick, you actually need more sleep. So one thing that you can do to improve the way that your body responds to stress is actually making sure you're getting enough good quality sleep. Now, I say that with a grain of salt because a lot of us experience sleeping issues, and you're probably thinking, well, that's great, but I can't sleep anyway. So, you know, that's not going to help me. So, you know, and if that is the case, then reach out and, you know, have a word to me about that because I can also help there. But anyway, another thing that we can do is reduce fear. Okay, so, and how do we reduce fear? One thing that I've noticed lately is that a lot of people are watching more news than they used to. Okay, and this increases our fear, our stress, and our worry. So one thing we can literally do is to turn off the news. Stop watching the news and just monitor it. Just give it a go. If you don't want to do it all the time, that's fine. But just, you know, turn it off for 3 days. Check how your stress levels are beforehand. Turn it off for 3 days and don't watch news on Facebook. Don't watch news on YouTube. Turn off the TV. Stop looking at your phone app, the news app on your phone. just stop watching news and see how your stress levels change. Monitor that and see if that's one reason why you have stress in your life. Okay, something else you can do is making sure that you're heading out into nature and going for a nice leisurely walk or hiking or whatever that is. That can actually reduce your stress levels phenomenally. Okay, just give that a go. And most people already know that that makes you feel happier, just getting out in nature and going for a walk. But sometimes we've actually got to force ourselves to do it and make a plan to actually do it. Because, I know I like to, but if I don't actually plan it or have someone say, hey, let's go do this, then I don't actually do it. Okay, we do a fitness walk every morning with my partner, but to get outside with the kids and go for an actual authentic hike in nature, we actually have to plan that. So, making sure that you are getting out in nature. And one more thing you can do, this is item number 4 that you can actually do, is find the source of the stress, okay? And attack that. Attack the actual source of the stress, okay? And when you isolate that source of stress and eliminate it, your stress levels can come down. And that may seem easier than is possible, because sometimes that source of stress might be the kids that are driving you nuts, where you can't attack that source of the stress, can you? But what you can do is find a small part of that stress and just work on it, okay? And then monitor how your stress levels change, okay? So maybe you're having problems with getting kids in the car of a morning to get to school. Well, change something so that you can help them get in the car on time so that you're not stressed, okay? Just change one little part. And or maybe your stress is sugar. Maybe you're having too much sugar. Okay, fine. I can't get rid of all of my sugar. I love my chocolate. Okay, well, just stop drinking orange juice. Okay, and start reducing that type of stress. Now, stress falls into 4 categories. Environmental stress. Okay, so things that you come into contact with, say chemicals or mold or toxins or whatever. Okay, that's environmental stress. Physical stress, so maybe you've had a trauma, like a car accident or a concussion or something like that. Okay, psychological stress, so that's things like fighting with the kids and your husband or whatever the problem is. Maybe work stresses, okay, and one more, metabolic stress, so that's stresses from medications and things that we're putting into our body. Okay, so they're the 4 areas of stress. Stress is not just one area. It's not just helplessness and worry, okay? It is a combined area of 4 different parts. So find that source of the stress and attack it, okay? Now, if you know what your source of stress is, then put it down below. Let us know, because I think if we are more open about what happens in our lives, then we can all work together. Okay, people are messaging me. So we can all help each other together and realize that we're not in this boat alone. Anyway, if you're watching live, then let us know live down below. And if you're catching this on the replay, then say replay. Anyway, I will see you at this time tomorrow. You have an awesome day. Bye.